What up, everyone? We are back with my great friend Adam Lawson tonight. How's it going, Adam?
It is good. It is good. And it's good to be on here with you, Lola. It's good to see the talking butt. There's nothing like talking to a butt.
Right?
You need a little butt talk. I get it.
Well, sometimes some of us do talk out our butts, so
I said you called it out. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
But how you been? How you been? So, last time I saw you, I think you had the 8th going on.
Yeah, so and I wish I had them with me. I did the 8th was my first book. April of 2020 it launched, and then October of 2020 was the Kill Journal, my second graphic novel. Both pretty ambitious. The 8th was I don't have them, as I'm out of town shooting a commercial right now for Square, the point of sale system, and so I'm at the hotel. And I know that's right. That's how crazy we are, right, in this community, right? Like I'm in the middle of making a commercial, and then I'm back at the hotel jumping on streams to promote our comics because
Wait, you have like another job? What are you talking about?
yes,
Right?
other life where I direct television and film for a living, and I write and direct it and for a living, and that and then you do comics because it is a place where you can create something that's truly in your heart without necessarily all the rules and restrictions that sometimes come with dealing with a collaborative medium like a TV show, right? And so it's really, really fun.
What got you into wanting to make comics, though? Like you're telling us that you're making TV and commercials, and like you're jumping over here to these comics. Like, what made you want to do comics? Have you always been a comics fan, or?
Yeah, I think I always have been, Lola, and I think I shouldn't say always. When I was younger, I thought they were kind of silly because they just kind of like these dopey guys in underwear is what I thought. And then it was Jim Lee's X-Men. When I saw that, and I saw like all of a sudden Cyclops was cool and muscly with these like cool ruby sunglasses that were stopping his eye blast, and there's this cool character I love, Bishop, with the M on his eye, and he was from the future, and all of a sudden comic book characters are cool. Like you wanted to be them, through the eyes of Jim Lee, right? And so wherever Jim Lee has gone in the future now, wherever he's leading DC at a time, I'm really grateful for his art because it's what brought me into comics, right? And it's interesting, where I live in Burbank, he has a statue. I live right next to Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and Disney Animation. You can kind of see him from my condo balcony. And there's a statue that they built, a bronze statue of Jim Lee's Batman Black and White.
Oh, wow.
His cover art for that. So it's this 6.5 foot bronze statue out in front of the AMC theater that's right there on my street. So I walk past it every morning when I walk the dog and the baby. And so I do like that, it's a reminder of what was the thing that invited me into comics, was Jim Lee. And then my tastes grew from there. And I think then there was this other moment I was doing Snakes on a Plane. And this sounds like this crazy name dropping story, but Samuel Jackson came to set, and he was reading Brian Azzarello's 100 Bullets. And I remember looking at that book and I was like, it's cool enough for Sam Jackson. It's gotta be cool enough for me. Right. And so I went out and bought it, and it opened my eyes to the other side of comic books, this non-superhero world. And it was Image at the time. When it was Image was truly like fresh and cutting edge, and I loved it. I just absolutely loved 100 Bullets. It's still one of my favorite, and that's what really got me.
One of the best.
That is one of the best, right? Yeah. Oh.
Sorry, it took me a minute to register what you were saying the name of the book was. I was like, wait, what? 100 Bullets? I thought that's what you were saying. Yeah, 100 Bullets was a really good comic. It was a really good graphic novel.
It was epic, wasn't it, Lola? It was like Brian Azzarello's dialogue with all those accents that he did, and Rizzo's art and panels. It was just like, what is this epic tale, that I'm just caught up in, and with these, troubled characters and this gritty story. And so that really broadened what comic books were to me. And I think, I've always, read some superhero comics, and, there's some artists that I really follow, Daniel Warren Johnson, Sean Gordon Murphy. Daniel Warren Johnson is a writer artist who I love. Like his Wonder Woman Dead Earth was pretty spectacular, and his Beta Ray Bill. Those I know him from being an indie creator. So there's a couple superhero comics that I occasionally jump on from time to time, but mostly it was this other world, right, of books outside of that. And then, and I'd been wanting to make a comic, and it was called The Eighth, and, which was my first crowdfunding book, and it was 224 pages, right, Lola, really
Right.
small. And so I went in deep, and I've been working on it. I was show running a TV series called Escape the Night, and I was working on this comic, and I'd hired the artist to be my storyboard artist. And I said, hey, we should do a comic together. And he said, yeah, that's what I really want to do. So we started working on this. And so I did 5 issues, just paying for them out of my pocket, and was like, yeah, at some point I'll get this thing published. Right. And then the pandemic hit, and my TV show got canceled at Warner Brothers, and not a great financial year by any means. And I was like, kind of like left in the lurch. And I remember, I think it was probably, it was in March. I remember seeing a Cyberfrog, and I was like, wow, this book has made really an incredible amount of money on Indiegogo. And I had a love for the Indiegogo platform because I had done this TV show called Will Wheaton's Tabletop.
Oh, bless.
And it was a Subway board game show, and we crowdfunded it season 3 because Google financed the first 2, and then the 3rd season we crowdfunded.
Right.
And Indiegogo said, hey, if you put it on our platform, we'll give you a better deal and we'll help you promote. And so I was kind of had like a soft spot for them as a company because they were so great with us, right? And so I thought, oh, you know what? Maybe this is where the comic book audience is on Indiegogo. So I didn't really know anything else about it, right?
Right.
Other than I'm like, oh wow, I think look at all these backers. There's a full audience here, and so not that I thought that I was going to get that kind of number. I knew that was somebody who was, was building an audience and working on it. But I was like, oh, there's potential for a big audience here. And so then that's what I said, now's the time to crowdfund this comic because I don't have a work. And so I can afford to learn this thing the hard way. And so that was what I did. And, I was running Facebook ads and trying to learn about streamers and what people were doing in it. And so it's kind of like this baptism by fire. And I was really grateful for that experience. And I met so many wonderful people and that were really helpful and supportive. And that's awesome. You don't get that always in film and TV where you can just DM somebody, hey, how did you do that with your campaign? And they're like, oh, I did this. And you're like, great, thanks, buddy. And there's this whole, it just doesn't really exist anywhere else,
Right.
Which is one of the reasons why I've been so committed, to all the friends that I've made, and I think I like to treat all the people I interact with in the community as individuals, right? They've been great, and I know their faces and I know their names, right? Of the people who've been great.
Or their butts.
Or their butts. You've been a very fine one. I think, Lola, you've been doing a lot of squats. It looks like you're doing a lot of squats.
Let's say hi to our chat. We got to get a little chat going over here. We got Stephen Brown, Art. What's up, my brother? Good stuff. What's up, good stuff? Oh, I hear we were using our butts to talk today. Yeah, we're always using our butts to talk good stuff. You know me. Matt Barr, what's up, Matt Barr? He said, Adam, Lola. Matt, if you're in the chat, say hey.
Matt Barr, he's one of the good ones.
Dude, he is. I love Matt. Matt's Rock and Roll Ninja looks amazing.
I know. I backed that one hard for sure.
I did too. I don't remember what level I backed at, but I remember it was one of the upper tiers. So
yeah,
I'm excited for that one. What's up, Pops? Devil Flyer. What's up, Devil Flyer? John, he's catching up. I got Fanta. What's up, Fanta? She's dropping my links. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Okay. We're all caught up in the chat, it looks like. Now, does anyone in the Comicsgate community, do they ever talk to you about your work on film and TV?
Yeah, they do. Narwhal, who I really think the world of, really cool guy, he hit me up and said, hey, Adam, I've written this movie, and would you give me some advice? So I read his script for him, and he and I which, it's always a handful of hours to read someone's script. And I read a script and gave them creative feedback and was happy to help out. And there's been some guys over at Alterno, Rob Geronimo. He and I have talked about it a lot. And in fact, my wife was producing a TV show that I actually reached out to lots of people in the community saying, hey, my wife is producing this show called Instant Influencer, and it's recruiting artists, and the winner wins $100,000, and you're going to get massive exposure on YouTube. And it's a YouTube Originals TV series. And I tried to help push people to get on that. And so I certainly, many people have asked me about it, and I've tried to also help invite people into it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you were in TV and commercials and stuff. I didn't realize that you were into like that. That was your day job, right? Like I didn't realize that until I was talking to a mutual friend of ours, and I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't know that about Adam! Like that's a new thing I didn't know."
Yeah.
So like, it makes sense that your comics, they look beautiful. And I want to talk about Kids and Monsters because I'm super excited for it. I am so excited for Kids and Monsters. Let me
well, you
share.
are too kind. You are too kind.
And it's different from the 8th and Kill Journal.
Yeah, it is.
So let me ask you while I'm pulling it up here real quick. What, like, you have like different things going on with each of your comics. Are you not planning on like mixing worlds at any time, or?
Yeah. So the way I would say this is that Kids and Monsters is set in the town of Lovelock, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so is the 8th, and they encountered also in Kill Journal, Lovelock. So this is kind of my Castle Rock.
Okay.
It's my Castle Rock. So it's not that necessarily the characters of Kids and Monsters are going to meet the people in the Kill Journal in the next issue, but it's in that same world, and there's little pieces that we picked up. And in some ways, and maybe, as I'm kind of devising this, what I've sort of gone about was building these stories that I wanted to tell, and this is a great medium to tell them in, and then by giving this one town as the link, to them. But also part of me wonders, should I be making volume 2 and 3 of lots of things, right? But the 8th was a complete story. The Kill Journal is a complete story that has a door open for there to be more volumes, and there will be. And Kids and Monsters is definitely needs a second volume. So I think that process is going to begin. And also there's, many other stories. You mentioned Matt and I have something in the works as well. And so there's lots of stories to tell. If that makes any sense, Lola, or if I just shotgunned way too much.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Like I'm just processing everything you're saying because let me tell you, I'm like ADHD, and so like I tend to jump around quite a bit.
Please do it.
It's not on purpose. So like if I get off track, just reel me back in. Just be like, hey, we got to get back to this because I tend to go all over the place. But so let's talk about Lovelock a little bit. What drew you to wanting to build something like that? Was it with the whole Castle Rock thing with Stephen King, or just like so you have something center everything around?
Well, the very first screenplay I sold was called Just This Side of Nowhere. It never got made. A company called Radical Pictures bought it, and it was called Just This Side of Nowhere, and it was set in the town of Lovelock, which is like this town. It's that mystical town that exists in the storytelling world, where it's not a big metropolis, right? It is a smaller town with problems and mysteries and the woods out back, and that still has mystery and wonder to happen in it, where cell phone reception doesn't always work, and where it's not right on the cutting edge of the future. It's sort of lost in yesteryear. And so I think that is what, that is Lovelock. And I think that I wanted to sort of stack all my tales in that place, to give them some cohesion without having to be in the same comic, right?
Right.
And if you watch my TV series Escape the Night, in season 3, they're in a town called Everlock. And when I was pitching the show, my idea for season 3, and my star and I were talking about it, I said, what if we call the town Lovelock? He's like, Adam, with this storyline, what if we called it Everlock? So it became Everlock in Escape the Night. And so it's this, it's that perpetual small town where these stories can spring from.
I like it. I love the whole idea of having like a place that centers around all these stories, and the fact that they're all complete stories within themselves.
Yeah.
Now, with kids and monsters, what made you come up with this concept?
Well, there was 2 things. One is I loved this idea. I was playing a storytelling game with my niece and nephew, and they wanted to get monsters that were good guys. And so I thought, what if they found monsters in their backpacks, right? And they loved that idea because they carry their backpacks to school and around. And if they could pull a monster out of their backpack to give them help in a time of need, and that's what that idea then of a monster in a kid's or teenager's backpack that they could pull out to help them started. And then I just loved that idea so much. And then I thought, well, what's the threat to these kids? And so I thought, well, the threat is that their parents are on the verge of divorce, right? One of the most frightening things for a young person, right, is the fact that their family could break apart. And because I like to build my stories with 2 components. One, what is the heart of the matter, which in this case is kids trying to cope with something they can't control. And then the fantastical side of it, which is that there are these red beasts that are pouring out of these cracks in the earth and they're trying to rip the world in 2, very much like their family. And these monsters are the kids' allies, the teens' allies, to help them stop the world from being ripped apart. So there's this metaphor for their troubles at home being played out in this supernatural, fantastical war.
Right on. I can dig that. So are these kids, are they like preteens, teens?
So they're Gatsby is the youngest and he's 13 and his sister is 15.
Okay.
And so it could have been teens and monsters, but it just didn't seem the right sound. Like the kids and monsters seemed the better titling. Maybe teens and monsters would have been better, but it felt like
I was just asking because like okay, so like I have an 8-year-old and she loves this kind of stuff, right? Like she loves monsters and horror and scary stuff, and she definitely loves the cutesy little monsters. So like this was definitely a story that I could sit down with her and she would enjoy. Like she would be so enthralled in. She'd want to know when she's going to get the next one.
That's right. And this is an all ages book in the sense that it's not all ages. It still deals with some mature topics, such as struggles at home, and has real stakes, but the content is certainly built for all ages, right? That an 8-year-old can read it and you're not going to worry that there's going to be the F word in it, or there's, some graphic sequences that you can't show a kid, right?
Let's talk about like what you got going on here. You said Gatsby was 13?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about your characters a little bit.
So there's Gatsby. He's the boy on the cover with the monster in his backpack. He is essentially he's the brainiac of the kids. He's a Rubik's Cube master and he's a deep thinker. And in this tale, he's kind of on his mom's side. And he's the one who starts to see the cracks in the world first. And he's trying to convince his older sister, Mally, about these. So he's seeing the cracks. This is Gatsby. Yeah. So he's seeing the cracks in the world.
Sorry. I've got 2 of them pulled up here because I was looking through one while we were talking about on the other one, and for some reason one of them was not pulling up the pictures, and I was like, "What is going on here?"
No, I noticed that too. I was like, "Gosh, where did all the images go? It must not be loading yet." But so he's seeing the cracks because in our mythology here, there's 2 worlds. Although there's the world within, which you and I don't know about, and then there's the world that we are in now. And so the cracks in the world let them see through the earth down into the world within. And these red beasts are trying to rip the 2 worlds apart, so everyone will be miserable. And this here, the blonde hair, this is Mally. This is Gatsby's older sister, who's a skateboarder and a fist fighter, and she's full of lots of anger about what's happening, and she's trying to cope with this. And this is her boyfriend Jin Soo, who they get together right away at the beginning of the book, because I wanted this tale to be not about them, falling for each other, but about them learning how to work together in a relationship. And that kind of mirrors maybe some of the struggles that parents are having that she has to then work out with Jin Soo.
Well, too, they're at the age too where these are the first time for everything, right? Like it's the first time for interaction with someone of the opposite
Gender, opposite
yeah,
sex.
yeah, there we go.
Yep.
I was like, I don't know which way to go with that one anymore.
Yeah. I know.
really
You can go with that with me. That works for me. Some of the opposite gender, opposite sex, that works for me. Those are real
but
things.
that's when you're really starting to notice, the opposite gender and the opposite sex, and you start having those feelings, and you start trying to figure out what you do and how it works. And then she's got a little brother here that's tagging along too. So
That's right.
It's like little brother is the eyes that's watching everything, and then they got these monsters they gotta fight. So
right.
I can dig it. I love it. It reminds me of like the whole concept of this. When I first looked at it, reminded me of like the old Steven Spielberg movies with the kids, where
That's
he'd
right.
always use the kids with the monsters.
Yep.
And I love that because we don't have anything like that anymore, right? Like, I mean, we had Stranger Things, but then Stranger Things went off the deep end after the second season. So it was like, I want more of that kind of stuff. I want stuff like that I can enjoy with my kids because it's the stuff that I grew up on.
No, I agree with you. And I think, John, to answer your question there in the chat,
I'm sorry.
so recent fatherhood definitely has an impact of it, right? Because you start to think about children in a new way because you now are responsible for one. And yes, I would say that a great way to describe the tone and feel of this is Goonies, right? Where you have these kids facing against these larger than life odds, right? And these sort of tales you talk about, like with Gremlins as well, another Spielberg piece. It's like I love that the feeling of what that was, right? Because it felt like raw and reckless, and these kids on their bicycles without helmets, right? Because they were kids, and all of it made that so fresh and wonderful, and I still love now. And I tried to inject into this tale. So
Wait, am I missing something? Are you a recent father?
yeah, so I have a 4-month-old.
4 month.
4 months.
Aw, congratulations,
4-month-old, yeah.
Adam.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Babies are awesome. They make the world go round.
No, I just
Until
love
they
him.
start talking and
I just
walking.
love him. So yeah, it's the best.
Enjoy every moment of it.
I most certainly will.
I didn't realize that you had a new baby. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible. I try to keep up with everything that goes on in like the whole comic skate sphere and all the crowdfunding and the indie comics. And there's just so many people in this sphere. It's hard to keep up with everything that's going on with everybody.
Yeah. No, it's hard to know all the details of it, but it's totally fine. That's why we're on a stream. We get to figure these details out, right?
Right. No, I think it's awesome. Like I love being a mom. Being a mom is the greatest reward I've ever had in my life. Like it's the greatest thing I've ever done, right?
Okay.
It's just when they start talking and walking, they start figuring out things, and you go to grandma's house and they start saying things, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not say that here. So it's like you have to learn those boundaries,
Yeah.
But no,
Boundaries are key.
I totally love the tiny baby. Like the tiny baby is the best.
I
They're
love
so
them so
cuddly.
much. Oh, yeah. And I'm out of town shooting right now, and I just miss him every second. So
I can imagine. It was my husband was away quite a bit for his work when we had our first one. So like yeah, he missed out on some things there, and so like it bummed him out, right? So I'd have to like send him pictures, and we would do FaceTime, and like it was all the time trying to be like, look what she's doing. It's like, oh crap, I'm missing that, and it sucks.
yeah, I know, big time. I know. Yeah, it's what you can't fix it because you still need
No,
to pay the bills
yeah,
along
you
the
have to
way.
do what you have to do, but, it's still there, it's still there, it's still happening. Um, King Leak, what's up, my brother? Jason, I need to address Jason for just a second. Sorry, Adam.
No, I love
He
Jason. You can talk to
he
him all you want.
he was getting on to me in the chat. He's like, "You have everybody on, but you don't have me on as a guest." Jason, you were a guest for a whole month on my channel.
Wow, Jason is needy.
He was my co-host for a whole month. He's on my channel all the time. I love Jason. He's one of my most favoriteest people.
No, Jason is amazing. I felt like, what another exciting person in our sphere, right? Like that, like didn't come from the mainstream comic book world, was like building this craft all on his own, right? And has transformed it into, I don't know if you read Absolute, um, but it was awesome. And I was incredibly impressed by the book. And I can't wait for Absolute 2. And to just see like his growth as an artist and as a storyteller happening real time, it's awesome.
Yeah, I did not get to read Absolute, but I
What?
do believe I picked up
Lola.
I picked up Absolute Book 2, and when I did, I made sure that I got the first one with it. So
Yeah, he's doing some cool things with it. He has these, the way he's doing the thought boxes, and the way he's representing both the characters, and there's some really interesting things. It's really fun.
I really love his art. Like it's not like a uniform art. It's
No,
completely his own. It's his own style, and I love that. It's very indie. It's very Jason, and
yeah,
I
it's just
love it.
its own fresh thing. Yeah, I love
So
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I love Jason. Um,
but this is but Kids and Monsters. Speaking of artists, this is Maxi Dallo who did and I was gonna forget it.
I
Cody's,
told you ADHD. I get all over the place.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. He did Jack
Anyway,
Irons. He
you're
did
an
the Jack
artist.
Irons. He did Jack Irons. He also did the Silhouette Story and Lost Pages. And
Okay.
Maxie is just a tremendous artist, a traditional artist that just blows my mind with his pages. Just, I've got to show you this. This is a new page that came in. If you'll let me share the screen, I'll show it to you
Yes.
before it's even gone into the book. But it just shows the epic awesomeness that is Maxi. Like, you look at these pages, right? And if you look at all this amazing, the kids have just arrived in the world within altogether. And you just look at this world he built. And he's a traditional artist, right? So he just does red lines and inks. And so this is all, built on real paper with inks. And you just look at this incredible detail and scope of this image and the perspective that he built. Like he made the hard choice, right? With that perspective over their shoulder looking down. Like it was a hard choice to make as an artist because it's like, oh, that's a ton of work. It's all this perspective work, right? And it's really, really something else.
Let me ask you, have you ever read Charles Burns' The Black Hole?
I haven't, Lola. It sounds like I should.
You should read that. It's a very interesting tale about these teenagers in this small town. They start having these deformities happen, and it's, for lack of a better way of putting it, it's kind of like an STD. They pass it through,
Oh,
but
is it a graphic novel or is it?
it's a graphic novel. But Charles Burns, he's a really good artist and writer. But it's more of a grown up teenage tale, I guess. Like
Yeah,
when you were in high school and they would teach you all about all the bad things that would happen if you did drugs and had sex.
yeah,
Okay. That's kind of what Charles Burns does, but he takes it to a different level. He takes it to the level of, you got an alien that's gonna be passed around here,
yeah.
and you're all gonna die, pretty much.
Feels like I should read this book. I should buy
Yeah,
this book and read this book,
you
Lola. Is
should
what you're
check it out. You should check it out. I think you might enjoy it. But anyway, getting back to Kids and Monsters. I'm sorry. Like I said, I get very shiny squirrel syndrome.
saying. Nothing wrong with
It just
that.
it just I get all over the place. Um That was a really good page that you showed us, though. I really like that.
I mean,
Is it gonna be colored or
oh no, the book's a full color book. You can see here
okay.
the pages.
Yeah,
I was
well, I
just
was
showing you. I was just showing.
sitting
It
right
just
there.
came in. Yeah, it has just that page in particular because it's so brand new. Has just not been colored yet.
What
So
can so you're writing it, right?
yeah, so I write the book and I do the layouts. And so let me just show you this here.
Well,
So I
basically where I was going with that was I was asking about your team that you're working with on this one.
yeah. So this is so it's this amazing colorist named Mike Spicer, um, who um, who did Murder Falcon, which is one of my favorite graphic novels of all time. And if you bounce here to the screen I'm sharing there, Lola, I can
Okay,
show you all the colored pages. Um,
there we
but
go.
you can they're the unlettered versions. I have the lettered ones on the campaign. You can see these are Mike Spicer's just beautiful colors. I think he's my favorite in the biz.
Can I
And
point something out real quick? Can I just point something out real quick? This third panel down here where the hand's coming out, and I noticed it on the campaign page, the action, the way that the action is colored,
yep.
like as the hand's coming out. I love that. I love the fact that it's not just like streak lines going out everywhere and like, it's too much. Like the color brings it for some
Yeah.
reason. I just had a
No, totally.
conversation with someone about color versus black and white. And I think this is a great example of how something can be colored and it make it pop versus something that's black and white. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. I think the color, you're adding a whole new dimension, right? You're adding
Right.
a whole new sensation to the story. And I think somebody like Mike Spicer, who I just delivers just such incredible colors. Um, you can see here, how much life that brings to the pages. So the book is delivered in colors. You can also get it in black and white. Some people like that. I'm somebody who really enjoys getting both, right? Having the line art book. I love that, especially when it's a traditional artist and you can really see all these amazing lines. Um, but you can see all these incredible colors that Mike brings to it, and what he does, and how much storytelling happens in those colors, right? Um, and I love how these are the red beasts, right? You can see them pouring out of the wall there that are trying to rip the world into. And this is his math teacher, who's a cultist, who is like the red beast's agent in the world above. It's helping him rip the two worlds apart. And you can see these red beasts, how much the color, how much that brings them to life, right?
Right.
So I'm with you.
I don't know, just something about like I was noticing on the campaign page when we were looking at it, like the kids were running, and they had the red monsters behind them, and I saw the color in the action, and I was like, that just makes that pop for me. I don't know what it is about those lines, but if that was in black and white, I don't feel like it would have the same impact on me.
No, I agree with you. I think color changes the impact. It allows you to, take in a page differently, and and it just changes things. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Okay, let me bring this up. Okay. Let me
Thank you,
ask you.
King, on the character designs. Thank you,
I'm sorry, do what?
King Leek. Thank you for the comment on the character designs.
Ah, I got you. It's like a cross between Ben 10, Pepper Ann, and a lot of classic Kasupo style art. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it. I think it's a really good art style, especially for this kind of story. I think it really
Yeah.
works. Um, this story's got me really excited.
Yay.
I want to ask you real quick about your perks over here on the side that we can get. Are those add-ons as well? Like if I go and back up the book, can I add this stuff on?
Yep. So everything's set for add-ons as well. So there is this cool custom backpack, which Shay Red Valkyrie, she helped me design and build because we're dealing with a story about kids who find monsters in a backpack. So it's only fitting, right? There's bigger pictures of it if you scroll down in the campaign.
Okay.
So it's a cell shaded. So it's a beautiful water resistant backpack with a 15-inch laptop sleeve and inner back pocket and all kinds of cool stuff. Um, Um, but you can see here it is, and you can see this is it, but it's a real backpack with this cool cell shaded effect. So it feels like it's pulled out of the pages of the comic, and it's got the logo on it. And if you open up, that outside pocket there, the face of the monsters on the inside of it. So it's a cool way to like be the raddest person at the convention, right? With that,
Right?
right?
Or the coolest mom on the jungle gym.
That's what I think too, as well.
I tend to use backpacks for my diaper bags, so
Right, this is your next diaper bag, and you can stuff the comics in where you put the laptop, and you're ready to go.
yes. I appreciate that. I appreciate that more than anything. I'm like, wait a minute, I can put all the baby stuff that I need in there.
Yeah, and it's cool. And so you can get a backpack. I also have a rad T-shirt. I like to do T-shirt design, and I try to feel like what I want to build with a T-shirt is this is the 10K stretch goal. A little there.
Am
It's
I
going to
too
be
far down? Did I pass the shirt?
no T-shirt is down. It's still down a little ways.
Okay.
So there is the this is our 10K stretch goal, which is a cool 5.5 by 8.5 inch art book with 52 pages. So you can. This is the ash can. This is cool. This is another story set around the town of Lovelock about a monster named Nail who crash lands on Earth as a child and befriends this young girl named Gu, which is a Korean girl's name. And so he can consume anything. It's one of his powers. And so she feeds him nails when he's young, and that's where he gets his name. And he grows up, and he's then struggling to fit in. And she's off at college, and then this bounty hunter from his past comes after him, and he has to face some of these things he's been running away from.
Wait,
And
let me go back up for just a second. You're saying this is your 10K stretch goal?
yeah,
And it's another book?
it's a notebook. So it's a
Oh,
blank
notebook.
page notebook for like sketchbook or whatever you use your notebooks for.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? Because I think, Lola, I've been in this place where it's like I've backed over 170 campaigns on Indiegogo and probably like another 60 on Kickstarter, and I can't do anything with the print anymore. Like I need no more prints, right? Because what do I do with them?
Right.
They just get sit in a drawer at this point. But a notebook I could use for my work. I could put my to-do lists on it. I can use that piece of art versus just looking.
Wait, Adam, you're a creator, but you're saying that you're also a huge supporter of the indie scene.
Yeah, big time. I'm like 7,000 in to backing books. I'm in.
Like that's insane. That
Yeah,
what? Creators can back books and be customers too? I
it's
didn't
true.
know that was allowed.
That's true. Well, how else do you know what's going on if you're not backing the book and getting it and reading it, right? How do you like that's how you know what's actually
Sorry,
happening in the scene.
I've heard a lot of arguments from people that are like, back indie creators, but they don't ever back anything. They're just like, oh, okay. Like, if you're gonna tell me to go back indie creators, shouldn't you be backing them too?
I
Just
back
saying.
it, Lola. I back your idea about backing.
Like, we should be backing each other. That's what this community's for. It's to help one another, to drive one another. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's our t-shirt, right? Is this the t-shirt? Did I hit the
No,
wrong
so
one?
that's part of the ash can, the little ash
Okay.
can, the nail into ash can. But if you keep scrolling down, Lola, you can see the t-shirt.
There we go.
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Yeah. So this is I want to make I like to make t-shirts for the campaigns. I think they're fun. I know I back a lot of t-shirts because I love I love being able to rep my tribe, so to speak. But what I like about them is building a t-shirt that isn't just a black t-shirt with a rectangular piece of art. I try to make them more than that. And so, and I also print them on, I screen print them on premium Bella Canvas shirts. So they actually have form and shape, and they're not kind of like the boxy Hanes shirts. So.
Okay, Adam, just stop. Just stop. You're killing me. Just take my money. I'm done. Like,
All
I'm
right.
all about. See, okay, I love comics, right? But at the same time, I love all the extra stuff that I can get with these campaigns. And I love t-shirts. I love t-shirts. I love mugs. I'm the swag person. I love all the extra stuff that I can add on. So I appreciate it when creators do stuff like this because I'm like, yes, I can wear this to the jungle gym and my other friends see it and they're like, hey, what is that on your shirt? Or and I can tell them all about what it is you're doing, and then they can go home, look it up, and back as well. And I do have friends that do that.
Right? And I think that's a cool way. It's like the way you like you start the conversation, right? Like on this last commercial I was doing before this, it was for a video game, and I kept showing up in a new, different indie comic shirt or beanie every day, and crew would be like, "Wait, what book is that about?" And it started to become this fun way to help pass the message. So,
I love it.
yeah.
And okay. So like I sometimes try to back people's books when I have them on here. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what all I want. I may have to back it after we get done here.
Well, that would be much love. And King Leak, I think you make a great point that I never wanted. When I back other creators' books, I also back them because I'm interested in them, and I understand people are various budgets, and they're not
No,
$3.
I get that and
If
I
they're on a bit,
understand
yeah,
that.
but
But I've seen people that have like they don't share out other people's links. They don't do any of that, but they're constantly out there saying, "Hey, support indie creators," but they're not supporting the indie creators. They're not sharing the links. They're not talking to people about what's going on over here. Like everybody needs to like if you're going to say it, then do it. Like obviously not you can't back everything. That
no,
that's
I don't.
unfeasible.
I can't. I don't back everything either. And some of the stories I'm genuinely like, that's not for me.
Yeah.
And that's fine too. Yeah, I'm not backing
No,
everything.
I totally get that. I totally understand that. And like King Link does share the links and he is part of this community.
No,
But
he's
I've
awesome.
seen people that have tried to come in later on who've been like, trying to get on the back heels of it because they later on want to put out their own thing but they're not going to get the help that they want because they've not actually put in the work or the time, right? Like
That's
I
right.
know who Adam Lawson is because I've seen his face. I've seen him out there sharing links. I know who King Link is. But when people come to this community and they think that they're just gonna like blow up because,
Yeah.
I don't know, I see it all the time. I've been here 5 years. I've seen all kinds of
Mm,
crazy.
yeah.
Um
You've been in it a while. You have certainly beat me. Um, but
I've seen some stuff.
yeah, I'm sure. And this, so speaking of the books, this is a hardcover book. It's 72 pages and it's oversized, so it's more European style. It's A4 sized, so it's like another inch and a half on top and bottom. So what makes that fun is when you open it up, it's a hugely immersive experience into the world of kids and monsters. So that's I love that because I try to do something different. The first book, the eighth, was a hardcover with a slipcase, and Kill Journal had a leather bound cover that was embossed, or sorry, debossed, and so it was all this etched, looked like an old Catholic Bible. And then Kids and Monsters is an oversized hardcover. So
Right on, man.
yeah, 5 years. It's really been a 5 year ride. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I've been here 5 years. Um,
Going strong.
do what?
Going strong. 5 years. It's amazing.
I've taken myself away to get for mental health reasons, like I have to step away, especially from like the whole Twitter scene. But I always come back to CG, and I'll tell you why I always come back to CG. Because the people in there are such great people in CG, like King Leak, like John, like
Yep.
um Wise
YG.
Guys here, like Unhinged, right? Jason. These people always bring me back because I feel a love for them and what they do and the creation. I feel a love for you guys. I really do. The creators, the support. There's like a huge support system. And I love it, and I love being a part of that, and I love being able to be the type of person that can come on here and share your work with other people and get your name out there and get what you're doing out there so that people know who you are. So when they see you on Twitter, they're like, "Hey, I remember that guy. He was on Lola's channel and he was talking about his book and it looked really good and I want to get that." And they have a link there that they can go and they can back it. Like, I like being that person that can help. I've always been a helper. It's just who I
Yeah.
am. I help people. I like helping people. And it I don't know anything else to do.
Yeah. I get it. I get it.
I'm a mama in every sense of the word.
Nothing wrong
So
with that. It's a good thing to be. Yeah.
I always come back to this community because I always know that there are people here that I can help.
Yeah. Totally.
So yeah, I've been here for 5 years. Like I said, I do step away for mental health reasons every once in a while, but
Sure.
at the end of the day, comic skate is in my blood. I've been here, I've done it. I know how to do it. I can help people do it. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help.
Yeah.
And I do back. I'm a huge backer. People will tell you. I try to back every oh, we got a friend in here.
Well, oh, there he is. Hey, Will.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going,
First of all,
man?
I gotta say, Admiral Wackass, thank you for backing me. Thank you. Yeah, Will. I know Will is looking a little bit more, looking a little bit more authoritarian. The hair is getting longer. The beard is getting thicker. He feels now like the Oregon hippie that he really is.
It must be winter. It must be winter where he is.
It is. Yeah. It is. I got an invitation from Lola, and of course, two of my favorite people on the planet are here. So
yeah.
I was like, you got to co-host with me, Will.
Well, not just I'm kind of like two different people on this panel.
You're my co-pilot.
That's
you
good.
have all the good questions. Will has all the good questions that
well,
I can't.
It's unfair because I know Adam's brain, so
No, Will and I have stuff in the works together, and also are good friends, and so that's also one of the magical things, right? Is you get to make things with people you like and love, and that's pretty cool. Or maybe that's one of the best things. And so, yeah, Will and I get to dig inside each other's brains as we concoct stories and ideas and things, and I love it.
And Lola knows all about it, but it's top secret.
Okay.
Yes, top secret.
I'm not saying a word. The bud is closed.
The bud is closed. Well, another person, here in the chat, YG, who says, "Hey, he's a big backer," and that is
Wise
true.
Guys.
Yeah, Wise Guys is a major backer.
Wise Guys is awesome, but
and a great cook.
I'm gonna tell y'all, Wise Guys is just here tonight to scope out how he's gonna lose on Friday in our tiny food cook-off. That's all.
He always
That's all
loses.
it is. He wants to be able to talk some trash, so.
I get it.
He always loses, though. He never wins.
How you been, Will?
Oh, I've been better. I'm exhausted.
It's been a while since we've been on a stream together.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've been gone. You've been gone for a family rejuvenation period.
Right. Like, we took a family trip last weekend, and then, this last weekend we went to see my mom. It was her birthday, so I took the kids to see her, and then the weekend before it was a family trip. But no, I'm just taking some time off. Got to get that mental health back.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, I talked to. Wait, is that me or you guys? So there was some weird interference there for a minute. It's not like you don't leave your friends. We talk to you all the time, so it's not like you're gone.
No, and then like this last week, I had an issue with my phone where Verizon decided that they were gonna taper down my data when I pay for unlimited data, and so I was really ticked off. But they were like, "Yeah, you hit your 50 gigs limit."
50 gigs.
Yeah,
50 gigs.
I was like, I don't even. How do I hit 50 gigs? Okay.
Oh, I know how you hit 50 gigs.
No, that's what they told me. I don't know if it's because I was traveling around and so I was on my phone using it for navigation and stuff. Or
what up, Hockey?
or what, but they were like, yeah, you hit 50 gigs. So after that, they start to taper it. And so, like, I couldn't make phone calls, send out text, or anything.
I'm getting throttled right now too, so it's okay.
No, I think this is the system here. But I know I have the T-Mobile Unlimited, so I can do it, and I have the fun flip phone. So that's the way to go.
Oh, somebody's got birds.
Yeah, but do you have a Lola cat?
I don't have a Lola cat.
You have that fancy phone, but you don't have a
No,
Lola cat.
No. Well, Lola, thank you. I mean, for having me on and talking through this. But you can see here as you're counting the last pages here that you can get also the black and white version of the book, and there is some original art. And what's cool is Maxie does these incredible traditional pages. That
Beautiful.
You can get. Yep.
Let me ask you, Adam, real quick. This figurine, was there only one that you made?
There's only one, yep. And it was a custom sculpt and hand painting, and I made a beautiful collector's piece, and I made one of these for the 8th as well. It was even more elaborate, and so I thought, I'll do it again, and it can be a great collector's piece that there's only one of on Earth, and so really excited about. And I had a backer come in and get it, and it's really cool.
Okay.
Once again, original pages where you grab them where you can.
Yeah.
Right.
They're becoming a rarity in this business and in this sector as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's the case, and I think that not only is that what's happening, right, is that not only are original pages becoming a rare commodity, they're because across comics they are becoming a more and more a rare commodity because of all of the digital artwork happening. They're just going to become more and more rare.
Yeah, and as Admiral Wackass says, those become NFTs, but there's nothing like an original piece of art on your wall that came straight from his hand.
No, not at all. So there's something really, really cool about that.
Especially someone like Maxie, right?
Yeah.
And Esquivel and Christian Rossi, who's doing Ed Gein, all those guys, still doing original art.
Yep, totally.
So can I ask you a question, Adam?
Well, yeah, go for it.
Your estimated shipping dates?
Yeah.
Can you explain those a little bit to us?
In June?
Well, there's one here in June, but then you've got January, May, June.
Yeah, so the way that works out is January is for the digital.
Okay.
Because it's going to start shipping. So the way the digital works, and everyone will get it, is that the digital issues will start dropping it's essentially 3 issues in this first volume, and so they'll start dropping. Like I already have issue 1, so it will start dropping January 1, and then in February we'll drop issue 2, and in March we'll drop issue 3.
Okay.
And then it will go off to printers. The May actually was just a mistake, actually.
Okay.
And then somebody backed it before I realized it, and then you can't change it, and then there you are.
Okay, well, like it's better that we ask you that here instead of like people go to back it and they're like, wait a minute, what is up here? Like, why is there so many different dates for shipping? I mean, people have those questions when they go to check out, and a lot of people don't understand how Indiegogo works either. So,
no, I totally agree.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, and I agree, and it's hard, in the world of shipping, and I manufacture over in China, and so the boat shipping has become unbelievably difficult,
Right.
and so it seems like no matter what you set for your date, you're in trouble. So I'm going to hopefully try to probably figure out.
I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter if you're shipping, like if you're using overseas or if you're using domestic, because we use domestic and I'm still getting packages back like 4 months after I've shipped them out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because at some point when I was shipping out books, like they shut off shipping through USPS to Australia and New Zealand.
Got it.
And so like I started getting all my Australian packages back, and I was like, what the crap is going on here? Why am I getting these packages back? And then I get this thing from stamps.com, and they're like, yeah, the USPS has completely stopped shipping to that country. And I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, it's made it totally difficult. So it doesn't matter where you're using your printer from, because at the end of the day, you're going to have shipping issues. I mean,
yeah,
these
I know.
shipping issues are going to happen right now because of all the stuff that's going on around the world.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's a total nightmare. Yeah, absolutely.
But
Which is a shame.
I definitely will say that Adam does deliver,
Yes.
and he
Yep.
does deliver a very quality product, because I have seen the 8th and I have seen the Kill Journal, which is two that were fulfilled and looked very good. This is your third one?
Yeah, this is my third book. Unfortunately, the Kill Journal has delivered in part, like the masks have delivered, all the digital have delivered, and then the books got incredibly delayed. The boat crew got COVID; it got delayed in Singapore, and now it's arriving November 28th. It should be in the warehouse. It's it's a real it's a struggle getting through the Long Beach port right now. You can't imagine, but that's what we're looking like right now.
The people got their masks though, so
People got the mask, and everybody has the digital issues. Like, and everyone who backs gets all the digital, so everyone has the 100% of the story. It's not that it has anything to do with completing the story. It's just now.
No. I know that the stories are finished, and the 8th looked really good too. I mean,
Yep. And the 8th is fully delivered and done. And the people who bought the 8th, who on the Kill Journal, I delivered those early to them separately, even though it cost me on shipping, because I wanted people to get their stuff and know that it's all happening and real. So
now, are you going to do anything that allows people to catch up on these other books as well as get Kids and Monsters?
yeah, so if you go to giftedrebels.com, you can that's our Shopify store. You can get it all there.
Can you put that link in the private chat for me so I can put it in the description of this video?
Yeah, let me put it down there right now.
For anyone listening, please go check out giftedrebels.com. Also, if you're watching this on replay, check out the description. You can find Adam on Twitter. You can find his Indiegogo link in there, and you'll find the Gifted Rebels link as well. So, just so everybody knows, I'm gonna put it out there. There is a description box. You can go and read what this is all about, and it has all these links.
Yes, and that is true. Nice. Well, this is the world of Kids and Monsters. I think it's exciting. I think the perks are fun, and Maxie and I are pouring our hearts into it. So I hope if this is interesting to you, it's something you pick up.
And well, in addition to that, Adam's one of the few people who breaks the 48-page kind of barrier, and he gives you a big chunky book at 100 pages.
Yes, I feel like you're right. Will, thank you for that, because I feel like as we speak about money on these things, it's like a 48 or 52-page perfect bound book for $25 can sometimes be hard, right? When you can get that for $7.99 at the comic book shop. So how can you create enough value in the book itself and not necessarily in the tchotchkes surrounding it that make it feel like, man, that $25 plus shipping was meaningful and worth it, right? So more pages, it's hardcover, it's something so that you feel like you got the value that you could get other places, right?
Yep. And the 8th is slipcased as well, and the Kill Journal has that beautiful faux leather cover. It's kind of got that embossed symbol on it. I'm not sure what it is.
So it's debossed with gold inlay. Yeah.
So it's quite an attractive book to have on your shelf, both of them next to each other.
Totally. Thank you, Will. That's true. That's the story worlds.
Hey, flying felines.
And sometime Will and I will make a special exciting announcement. But
yes, we will.
There's Kids and Monsters.
Not yet. It's still under secret, right?
Still a secret. So until then, there's Kids and Monsters.
That's right.
So get your Adam fix, because then you're going to need it for what comes next.
That's right. That is right. Well, Will, thanks for jumping on here for a minute. It's so good to see your face. I've got to run. I've got to get some last minute prep done for the shoot tomorrow. And but thanks for having me on, Lola. This is awesome.
Yes,
Man,
definitely. This is your spotlight. So I'm gonna wrap it up if you're good. If you've told us everything you want to tell us about kids and monsters, and I'm really excited for this. Like this just
cool.
takes me back to those moments when, like you said, Goonies or like E.T. or just those movies and those things that you grew up on that had like the kids running from the monsters, and I love it. And they're using the monsters, right? They're using the monsters to fight the
Yeah,
monsters.
the monsters are their allies in this tale. They are the
So
ones.
I love that. I love that. And I love that it's something that I can share with my little girl, and she's going to be so excited to see this as well. So I appreciate creators that are making things like this that I can enjoy and my kid can enjoy and we can enjoy together. So
yeah.
Thanks for
maybe
coming.
we should finish with watching the trailer because we haven't watched the
We
trailer.
will do that. We will do that. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I'm sharing the sound here, because I tend to be bad about that.
I know. Same.
I'm a boomer. I want that one. Over there. Okay.
He started seeing the cracks just after Mom and Dad began fighting. They were thin as pencils at first, then they got bigger, and things started to disappear. Beasts are pouring out of them. Beasts trying to rip the world in two. Just like my family is being ripped in half by my parents. But we're not alone. There are keys shaped like backpacks hidden in the world within. They hold monsters for those willing to fight. Here, monsters are not the things to be afraid of, but embrace. Monsters are the ones who are going to save us.